महाराष्ट्र में माहौल गर्म है and the heat is only rising, the temperature is only rising with every passing day and hour, I would say, because of the Supreme Court verdict. The Supreme Court verdict doesn't really change much because it said very clearly that had Mr. Uddhav Thackrey not resigned because he also did not face the floor test, the Supreme Court could have perhaps reinstated him. I can see Vinaya Deshpande, who's perhaps at one of the government offices trying to get a feel of what's happening in various camps. So, Vinaya, hello. Let's analyze various camps in Maharashtra. 24 hours now, 24 hours after the verdict. Camp 1, Uddhav Thackrey camp. And interestingly, Vinaya, when the order came, Uddhav Thackrey was with Nitish Kumar and Tejasvi Yadav.
Well, Maria, very interesting. In fact, a very good evening to you. Let me tell you, yes, otherwise the temperature in Maharashtra has been rising. लेकिन अगर हम कल शाम से देखें तो कुछ लोगों को ठंडी ठंडी हवाएं लग रही है। ऐसा लग रहा है कि अभी तो बहुत मजे आएंगे। जो लोग इतने दिनों में वेटिंग पे थे, जिन्हें लग रहा था कि नंबर आएगा नहीं आएगा, उन्हें अब मन में लड्डू भी फूटने लगे हैं।
उम्मीद हो गई है।
गरम हवाएं, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल गरम हवाएं कल तक थी। आज माहौल बदल चुका है महाराष्ट्र में। तो हम वैसे ही पत्रकार पसीने में लथपथ हैं, लेकिन कुछ लोगों को बहुत ही ज्यादा ठंडी हवाएं लग रही हैं। तो things are changing here on ground, and let me tell you that in some sense the verdict is while it's a shot in the arm for Uddhav Thackeray for the way he has been wanting to project himself and the way things have happened with him for the last 1 year, it's also a shot in the arm for the government because now they can actually go ahead with their normal business. इतनी सारी बातें होल्ड पे रखी हुई थी, बस सीएम डीसीएम ही सरकार चलाए हुए थे, बहुत कम लोग थे जो कैबिनेट में थे। अभी
वही मुझे जानना है। So there were just 2 ministers in this cabinet. That was Mr. Eknath Shinde and Devendra Fadnavis, right? There was no other minister in this cabinet.
No, that is not true. That was the first day on which they took oath. उसके बाद of course ministers हैं, गिरीश महाजन हैं, या हम अगर देखें तो दिलीप I'm sorry, राधा कृष्ण विखे पाटिल हैं. So there are ministers of course, but that's just almost half the number of which Maharashtra government has, and Maharashtra government can function with at least double the numbers. So that is why I'm telling you that चाहे एकनाथ शिंदे कैंप हो, चाहे बीजेपी कैंप हो, काफी सारे लोग हैं जिनकी आशाएं अब बहुत ही बढ़ गई हैं, जिन्हें लगता है कि अब शायद साल भर के लिए ही क्यों ना हो अच्छे दिन आएंगे और उन्हें भी देखने के लिए मिलेंगे। तो जो लोग बहुत हताश होके मंत्रालय कभी आते नहीं थे या शायद थोड़ा बहुत गुस्से से आते थे, वो अब खुशी खुशी आ रहे हैं, अलग से कॉरिडोर्स में बैठ रहे हैं। तो कल से तो माहौल बदला हुआ है। अगर हम फडणवीस और
उम्मीद है और आप बोल रही हैं और उसी वक्त एकनाथ शिंदे और फडणवीस जी का वीडियो भी चल रहा है हम लोग के स्क्रीन पे। विनया, the question is that it's a judgment which will be seen as shot in the arm for Uddhav only if he can take a moral victory, but when it is about the real victory, if this government has not been declared as illegal and the chief minister is going to continue, then what really changes for various Shiv Sena camps, Uddhav camp and Eknath Shinde camp? Vinaya? Vinaya, if you can hear me. Okay. We'll try and fix that line with Vinaya Deshpande. So the visuals that are coming in are from, of course, Eknath Shinde. Tir kaman lekar ke khade hain. That is the party symbol. That is Uddhav Thackrey, who was interestingly with Nitish Kumar and Tejasvi Yadav. Remember, Nitish Kumar has been traveling multiple states trying to really, play an important role in the opposition space in the run-up to 2024. We have seen him in Odisha with Naveen Patnaik only recently. He traveled and met Mamata Banerjee in Bengal. So he has been given the task that there are certain leaders in the opposition space with whom he has good equations because he has been a chief minister of over 2 decades, and he can have those engagements with them, while Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, the Congress chief, continues to engage with other set of leaders. So when that announcement was made, the Supreme Court verdict came at that time. Nitish and Uddhav were together. So were in that meeting room which was there. We also saw Tejasvi and Aditya Thackeray present. I can see Vinaya back with us. Vinaya, all this is fine, but it can be only about moral victory for Uddhav Thackeray. Nothing changes because Eknath Shinde government is not illegal and it continues to function. So my question is, besides claiming moral victory, what is going to change in the Uddhav Thackeray Shiv Sena?
Well, Maria, there seems to be some audio problem. Can you hear me?
Vinay, audio. Vinay, audio fix कर लीजिए. विनय ऑडियो में ग्लिच है, कुछ सुनाई नहीं दे रहा आपकी आवाज. So those visuals again, and as we have been saying, so what really changes? I also spoke to Rahul Navrekar, who is the Speaker of Maharashtra Assembly, and I did ask him this question about when is he seeing this entire judgment, which has to be taken by him to be pronounced, because the Supreme Court has said that it is now for the Speaker to decide on the disqualification of those 16 MLAs who are with Mr. Eknath Shinde. Whether that decision is going to be taken anytime soon. He did not really give any timeline. He said that he'll be hearing both sides and eventually will be deciding. So, many are saying that this is a lame duck government which is functioning. On the other hand, there is moral victory which has been claimed by Uddhav Thackeray. He would have certainly wanted this ahead of the BMC elections because, BMC elections are not very far either. So all this is happening as we build up to the big battle of 2024. So there are several camps, although the battle for Shiv Sena as the symbol is concerned, that seemed to have been settled. The symbol of the Shiv Sena is with Mr. Eknath Shinde, but this Supreme Court verdict only complicates the real Shiv Sena debate. Where the decision of the governor, where the decision of the speaker, all of them have been questioned, and the Supreme Court bench, which was led by the Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, clearly says that there were several decisions which were taken, was illegal, should not have been done by men in authority, which was the governor and the speaker then. So, even the point has been made that did the speaker sit on the decision of disqualification of these 16 MLAs for way too long? The assembly, remember, has been functioning for 4 years. It's only 1 year that is left now. So what really is going to happen on all those fronts? Because, when we look at a political party, it is not just about that one symbol. Yes, that symbol unites the workers and supporters of a political party, but it is also about that face. Uddhav Thackeray is seen as the legatee of Bal Thackeray. He is the son of Mr. Bal Thackeray, who was the founder of the Shiv Sena, and seen as the tallest leader, of course. So Uddhav Thackeray, a man of few words, but also seen as man who managed to send that message that if the party is not standing with me, and someone who he really relied upon, that is Mr. Eknath Shinde, has almost snatched away the party, he went ahead and announced his resignation. The manner in which he announced his resignation much before he could have gone for a floor test, meant that he was not sure of the numbers that he had. Yes, it was, many within the Uddhav Thackeray camp say that his mandate was stolen, that the government was stolen away by the BJP. But let's not forget that it is the party which broke, the Shiv Sena, which ended up splitting. So while we look at what really plays out in Maharashtra, particularly in the run-up to 2024, there are several layers in it, because the role of the BJP becomes important. In fact, Sharad Pawar has written in his book that when Uddhav Thackeray actually decided that he will be resigning, he did not consult any of the members of the Mahavikas Agadi. He did not really share his thought with Mr. Sharad Pawar. Although, it was seen as why didn't he do that? He could have perhaps consulted Mr. Pawar because Mr. Pawar was the one who in many ways was seen as the architect of this Mahavikas Agadi, which brought completely differing ideological views, which were completely opposite to each other on one platform. So lots of questions then were raised, particularly, so as we look at this story, I would still say that we haven't seen the last, and the chapter is only getting complicated. The battle for Maharashtra is entering an interesting phase because there are BMC elections, there'll be the assembly elections, and of course, the big elections, which will be the Lok Sabha elections. And only recently we had seen that power tussle, or should we say, that resignation drama that played out in the NCP when Sharad Pawar resigned, and thereafter he withdrew his resignation, saying that he will be continuing as the NCP chief. So we did not really see the generational shift that several were predicting, that there would be a generational shift. But in that process, he did manage to really ensure that his party stands firmly behind him, that his party, the NCP, decides to say that they will be behind their founder. So that has happened in the NCP camp. On the Congress side, we haven't really heard much because the Congress is a divided house. It is not giving a clear signal. On the Shiv Sena side, there are two parts. But then what has become clear from the Supreme Court verdict is that Uddhav Thackeray, Shiv Sena, is also a legitimate unit, that it may not have the party symbol because the Election Commission has taken that call, but it remains that cohesive unit who could have, Uddhav may have, been reinstated, and we would have seen a different history play out, perhaps, with that verdict, but that was not to be, because he took that call and famously resigned and made that announcement on Facebook. A story which has seen twists and turns, but will be seeing perhaps more. And Vinaya will be joining us some other day, perhaps, because we are not able to reach her anymore. So thank you so much. And this is your destination, as we say, politics equals CNN News 18.